the ultimate guide to anything Filipino in Las Vegas. This is the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show on PHLV Radio.
All right, good evening from Las Vegas. This is the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show here on PHLV Radio. I'm your host, Gilbert Glorioso, and I'll introduce you to my business partners, Benito and Loni Andal. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Good evening.
How you guys doing?
Good evening.
Good.
You know, the crazy weather that they're having in Texas right now, we have it nice and beautiful here in Las Vegas, right?
It's better than
better than the cold, of course. Yes, and of course, what a beautiful background I have here. Can you see?
I see.
This is Las Vegas for you. All right, so we have a guest tonight, special guest tonight. All right, it's his name is David Jacobs. Dave Jacobs from The Positive Side. Good evening.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Hey,
Awesome.
First, thank you so much for having me on here. As you said, a beautiful night here in Las Vegas on Thursday. And, you know, one thing I felt as I was driving to my restaurant to go eat dinner tonight was I felt like things were starting to come back. I saw more taxi cabs for the first time in a long time. And the sense just seems like hopefully things are just starting to come back at the very beginning stages. But I've kind of had that sense. But thank you for having me. I'm glad to be part of this and happy to talk about the positive side.
All right.
Which we need very much so right now. We do. We need what you have in your arsenal to tell us how we could promote that even more.
I appreciate that. And I start off by telling everybody I don't come off as a motivational speaker. There are a lot of good motivational speakers out there, and I applaud them all. But ours is a little bit deeper rooted. A couple of things we don't touch upon is religion or politics on the positive side. We're just talking about positive things. And I do realize not every day is a positive day for everybody, even for myself. But overall, if we feel at the positive side, be 80 to 90% positive for most of our lives, I think that's a winner. And if you want, I'll back up just a little bit on the way the positive side came about is my dad didn't care where you were from, what color you were. None of it mattered to him. He only cared what was in your heart and how you treated other people. And that's where the evolution of the positive side started, began. We've been doing this for several years, but Ani, as you just said, it's more needed now than probably ever. We've trademarked a couple of things. One, we trademarked the positive side, and the other one we trademarked is if you blink, you miss it. And what we mean by if you blink, you miss it is there are positive things every day that we do see. Somebody may hold open a door for somebody. Somebody may pick up trash they see on the ground and that's not even their establishment. Anything small and positive we feel is there. And at the end of the day, if you blink, you miss it. But what happens is you get in your car or you turn on the news and you hear about the latest COVID numbers or anything along those lines, and you kind of forget what you just saw. Mm-hmm. So if you blink, you miss it. And I do believe, and the positive side believes, every day there are positive things out there for us to focus on. And the news certainly is not one of them, unfortunately.
I know that, like you said, it's the little things, and it starts a ripple in the universe when something happens. One of the things that had happened to me one time, which is parallel to what you're saying, you know how when you're driving and you want to make that turn and a car is trying to come in and you're getting very frustrated. One time that happened and in that the car wanted to come in, and I'm not a fast driver. My partners could tell you, I drive below the speed limit, but I let the car come in and they waved at me like, hello. And the next time around, someone let me in. I believe in that flow of putting that positive vibe out there, because as soon as you're negative, who's to say maybe the car would have hit someone? I would have gotten hit. So I definitely believe in what you're saying right now.
Well, I appreciate that. I was asked to speak at a local Las Vegas restaurant and bar establishment yesterday. And that was one of the things. I talked to all the GMs, and there was about 20 people in the room. And one of the powerful things most people don't realize is how they can help others, how their attitude, how their disposition actually affects other people. Now, they're in the restaurant and bar business. And so when people come into their establishment, they want to leave outside all the news, all the COVID information. They want to come in and not only have good food, which is important, but they also want to have an experience. And so they want to forget everything else, and they just want to have a good time and be treated well and be respected. And that's what we talked about yesterday. And they all agreed, because you can go through your day-to-day routine and kind of forget about it, wake up, and it's almost like Groundhog Day movie where it's the same day. You wake up, you go to work. And so instead of doing that, put a little smile on your face, treat others with respect, and obviously pay it forward.
I think, too, what you're saying, if there was a channel that we could tune in while we're having our coffee in the morning, listening to the news and listening to the statistics and listening to the negative things that are happening around the world, if we could have a different channel that has this positive, affirmative message, it would set our day better.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We're just creatures of habit, and so am I. I'm no different than anybody else. We're all creatures of habit. There is a motivational speaker I used to listen to when I was right out of college, and that was many moons ago, by the name of Zig Ziglar. And what he talked about was a flea inside a jar. And when the lid was on the jar, the flea could only go so high because obviously the lid was there to stop the flea. But when they took the jar off, the flea still only went to the same height and never understood it could go higher. And I think as human beings, a lot of us are like that. We don't really realize our potential, but if you do live every day with a positive attitude and helping others, you do grow. And I think it's very helpful.
I think the signs have been where volunteers and the medical people have been helping nonstop, especially in our communities.
Yes.
That it's a year now. We've been talking at work about it. It's going to be a year since we first heard about this. So it's a long time for us to be isolated from each other.
It sure is. And I'm certainly one of those that, I enjoy hugging people, even strangers. I don't believe anybody's a stranger. I wasn't brought up that way, but you're right. Even during these times, I feel like I still want to go up and hug people, but they put their arms up and they don't want to hug right now. So
we do peer hugs.
Yeah, exactly. Virtual hugs. I like that. So, we can start that anyways. But
with the Filipino community, because we're very tactile, the hugs and the kisses and the just want to say, hey, I'm here, you're here. So I think we're all missing that.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, if you blink, you miss it. And I just want people to focus that there are positive things every day. They may be small. I mean, I'm not Ellen DeGeneres giving away a house or Oprah Winfrey giving away cars every day, but it's the small things still that can help people. And if you blink, you will miss it. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. It's The Positive Side LLC. So you have to have the LLC at the end. There's no spaces, all one word, The Positive Side LLC. And what we do on there, and the reason I'm bringing this up is we try to tend to, put out posters that are positive. I don't believe in putting posters out that are the Brady Bunch, for those who know and remember the Brady Bunch. Again, not every day is the best day of your life, and we don't want to pretend that. But overall, there are good, positive messages that we can all share and help each other. And as you said, we certainly need positivity more than ever. So I won't go into the politics, but obviously it's been brutal with the COVID and everything else. But we all could use some positivity.
I think too, just by, because we can't be physical with each other, like you say, a hug or a pat on the back, just a smile. And
Just a smile.
hey, I like your sweater, or you look great today. It's amazing how
Correct.
somebody will just, their shoulders will go back. They'll stand up straighter. And it's like at least for a few minutes, it's like, wow, that felt good.
That felt good. I couldn't agree more. I feel the same way, and again, the whole idea is that I wish we were all live right now, as far as together live. I know we're live, but and handing out some of our merchandise for the positive side. And and by the way, and I'm happy to do this, is I'd like to give a shout out for anybody who wants to reach out at us on Facebook or Instagram and be the first one. We'll send them a positive side hoodie for no cost, including shipping. We'll ship it to them wherever they are and make sure they get that. So if somebody wants to give a shout out and tell them they saw us on this radio show and they're the first ones, we'd be happy to give away a hoodie.
Well, David, I'm thinking that with what you're inspiring us to do, it would be great for us to have a Zoom audience for you.
That absolutely. Love to do that.
Yes, we'd love for you to do this with us.
I couldn't agree more. I think anytime it's face to face, and whether it's in person or over Zoom, as you said, we're all getting used to Zoom now. That would be fantastic. Definitely would love to do that. No question about it. And and one of the things we do on Facebook and Instagram from the positive side is we've given away cash. We've given away gift cards. I do have local restaurants here in town, even in Las Vegas, that give me gift cards to give away to people. And how we determine who to give it to is when we see people posting positive things on Facebook. Hey, my neighbor just came over and helped me, with my backyard. That's positive. Instead of putting the neighbor down, then we'll just tell them they just won. They're shocked. They're like, what? I didn't enter anything. Well, we're not asking you to enter anything. We just want to monitor social media. And if you're being positive, we want to reward you. Now, we can't see all of them, but at times when we do see them, not a problem at all. Yesterday, I had a restaurant called Prosecco.
Oh, wow.
We lost him?
No, he's covering it. He's probably covering the microphone. And Dave?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, he covered the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're so smart. You knew that. So
yeah.
I was just saying, we give away cash and gift cards to people from time to time on the positive side. We do take donations. We're strictly a volunteer site. Everybody who works at the positive side does not get a paycheck. But we've had companies, local restaurants donate. Yesterday, I was just saying, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, but an Italian restaurant in town in Las Vegas called Prosecco here in Las Vegas just gave us $100 in $25 increments to give away on the positive side. So those are all fun things we like doing. And we do it when we see people being and posting positive things on social media. It's almost like that paradigm shift we would like to see. Would it take a year? Would it take my lifetime? Would it take my children's lifetime? I don't know. But I would like to hope, and I believe at some point that paradigm shift can take effect, and the majority of us all over the world could be positive and help others.
It's the only thing, to coin a phrase, it's the positive thing to counteract the virus that we're all going through. It's touched everyone on every level, in every parts of the world. So if the virus could spread as fast as it has, why can't we spread the good thing as fast?
That's a big bingo for me. So yeah. I couldn't agree more. Yep, absolutely. So, yep.
I know for sure. I think, you get together with Gilbert and let's set up a time where it'll be a positive Zoom. I know 30, 40 people would love to hear something good, something that they know they can do. Even if they call a friend up and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. You know, you okay or something, just so they
Yep.
know they're not alone in the world. This is a
Well,
very
and
isolating thing.
I agree. And even yesterday at this restaurant, and I'll give a shout out to them because it was Remedies and Distill, and the fact that they even wanted us to come in and promote positivity to their staff, I give them A plus kudos, because not only do they want to serve good food, which they do, but they also want to create that positive atmosphere for their customers, and I really applaud them for that. But some of the people in the room, some of the GMs, once they warmed up, got to speak a little bit. And one that I left with, one of the GMs had said she would like to say something. And what her comments were is she had just lost her dog. And after 14 or 15 years, I forget how old the dog was, but it was very dear to this woman. And she said that group at Distill and Remedies, her teammates, her coworkers, her other general managers, all rallied behind her and gave her so much love and hugs. And she was crying when she was telling the story. Is amazing. And that's just a small little example, but it's other people caring on how somebody feels. And I love that.
I have my little dog right here. She's sleeping by the side of me.
Yeah.
She just had hip surgery a few weeks ago, but she's running around like a little puppy. So I know exactly that feeling.
Yeah.
That's my little puppy is my little joy when I come home.
But yeah, and I just loved hearing that the rest of the team really rallied and supported her and not just went on their daily, way. So again, I applaud them, as I do everybody who gives. And most people who give, they're the ones that really do care. They do want to help others. And we have a whole list of companies and people that have done that. So it works out very well.
You know what I noticed? I guess, you know yourself the best. Hopefully you know yourself well. But I
Yes.
found myself on friends that I have and people that are at a distance. They live in different parts of the world. At the end of our conversation, I would just say, hey, I love you. Because
Right.
I didn't want something to happen to them or myself, and I didn't tell them that.
Right.
And it's amazing. You tell someone you love them, they're not going to have a mean face. It's going to make them smile.
Right. I agree with that as well.
That's the positive side.
The positive side.
That's the positive side.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also do have our website that we're starting to promote more and more stories. And we encourage people, if you know of positive stories, somebody who's turned something around, whether they went through cancer, no matter what they went through, we like to write those stories on the positive side. And the website's thepositiveside.org. O-R-G. Recently, we had a local company. I have to disclaimer, it is my brother-in-law who owns a plumbing company.
Yeah.
And they it's called Fast Plumbing here in Las Vegas. And what they did is they knew of a gentleman who his diagnosis is not very good at all. And he needed to go to the clinic in Phoenix. Funds were a little short, but Fast Plumbing wrote a check, made sure they got to the clinic, paid for everything, gave them some extra cash, and sent them off on their way to hopefully give some relief. And to me, that's a big shout out to a company like Fast Plumbing. So
yeah,
absolutely. Vegas is probably the only city that I know that people dig deep into their pockets to help someone else.
Yes.
They really do.
Yes.
They never know you, but they'll help you.
Yes. Yeah. We experienced a little bit. Unfortunately, my niece was shot at the October 1st festival.
Oh, no.
She did make it. She got shot through the arm. This gentleman, 24-year-old young man, grabbed her, said, I'm a medic in the Army. And he just got out of the Army and now is attending college, and said, I'm going to get you out of here. Got her to an ambulance. Long story short is, through some media, we found him. And 6 months later, we flew him to Las Vegas to surprise our niece. The news was there. It made the news. And the amount of people and companies that contributed, and this young man walked away with so much stuff from all these companies. He goes to the University of Arizona, and even the head football coach at the University of Arizona heard about it and gave him 4 tickets on the front line, 50-yard line. Of course, this was before COVID. And his new wife and his parents got to experience the first game on the 50-yard line. All gifts. And, those are the things that just are incredible and inspiring. But even the small things, to me, I do believe if you blink, you miss it. There are plenty of positive things every day that we just forget about because we hear about the negative when you get in the car or turn on the radio, or your spouse or children call and they may not have the best news and you just forgot what you saw. And so that's what we really try to promote. If you blink, you miss it.
You have to then do a Zoom session for our community and whoever wants to tune in, because for those half hour, 45 minutes, it'll lift them off that strain of depression and bad news that we've been through.
Yeah.
But we need a break.
We do need a break. And again, I was very fortunate to be brought up by my dad, who just believed in that every day. He's gone now. And even on hospice, we showed up one day and they had a sign outside my dad's door and it said "Best day of my life." And we asked, what's this sign represent? And they said, every day we come in and ask your dad how he's doing. When he knew he only had days left, he said, it's the best day of my life. And that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
You have to cherish every day.
Dave, I understand that you guys have also an organization in Texas. Am I right?
We do. Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I cut you off.
Plano, Texas. That's what it is, right?
It's the Frisco, Plano area of Texas, which is just north of Dallas. That's where my official home is, although it's an ice bowl right now. But yes, that's where my permanent home is, although I'm in Las Vegas probably 60-70% of my time right now.
And I could see you have a good mission statement here. Do you do some counseling or
what we do is we do about a 30-45 minute "If you blink, you miss it" seminar. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, on counseling, like people who are really, most of the people who are depressed, these people are negative, of course, and a way to teach them positivity is that you guys do on one-on-one counseling. We have never done that. We're not licensed. We don't. I don't believe we're qualified. If somebody needs that, we're happy if somebody likes to call us up and almost what y'all were saying about a Zoom, get 30-40 people. I would still do it one-on-one, but I couldn't call myself a counselor. I couldn't call myself a therapist because I'm not one. But that's something we try to refer people to. We have had some phone calls when, they were a little more serious than even just needed a little pep talk. And we like to make sure they're pointed in the right direction. So we get your mission is all about positivity, and of course those people, especially the distressed one, they really need to be imparted on a positive thinking. So yes. I thought you guys with your volunteers or your company will do the same thing. Although in my mind, I don't think that you need to have to be licensed or to have a license in order to teach people about positivity.
No, we do want to. Yeah, I think you're correct, and we do teach positivity because we do the seminars on the positivity. we're just not set up to be a therapist if it's about depression or anything along those lines. And they're seeking help that way. We'd like to refer them to a professional. But if it's purely about the positivity, just like yesterday at the Remedies, when we talked about if you blink, you miss it, on how that staff can help others. We've done some seminars in Dallas the same way. So whether you're a hairdresser, whether you do nails, whether you work in an executive top floor complex, you can smile, you can help somebody else by just being kind. And that's what the positive side is all about. And as you mentioned, the mission statement on our website is think positive, be positive, and help motivate others to do the same. And so, and on Facebook and Instagram, and if I may, it's again, The Positive Side, LLC, all one word. And we try to promote some of those posters that we do, just to be positive and help somebody think a little bit outside the normal box, and take that and get that mental escape from the, reality of the COVID numbers or whatever else is happening in your life.
Yeah, because
it starts somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they are sent to counselors or to counseling, they normally pay. Of course, some are government fees. The government pay for the fee for the counseling and all that. But I think your organization is more an appropriate group that can give some thought about this positivity, because it will help people. So that's what I mean, that you guys don't need to be licensed when it comes to dealing with people, because you're helping a lot of people when it comes to thinking.
We are, and that's where the deep-rooted message more is, and that's why I mentioned even at the beginning, I don't consider myself or our organization to be a motivational speaker. It's more of the positive, deep-rooted thinking to carry yourself through the day. And again, not every day may be the best day, but overall, if you can be 80, 90% in your life positive and think positive and help motivate others, you're on the winning edge for that, I consider.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great to teach people how to be positive all the time, just like what you're telling us.
Yeah.
When you get sick, when you are negative.
I know. Well, they say it takes 10 positive things to erase one negative. I do believe in that. There's a book out in a movie called The Secret, which I believe in. I don't believe it's magic, but I do believe what you give out, you get back. Because if you had a flat tire on the road and you wanted to just be upset all day long, nothing else is going to fall in your lap, versus you have a flat tire on the side of the road, you fix it and you move on.
Exactly.
Maybe something else can happen good that day. And so to me, that's what The Secret, that's what it's all about. And I just would love to see more and more and more people do it. Hopefully your audience, you three can help us, spread that word. We'd like more people on Facebook, Instagram, our website. And we also like your audience, if they want to contribute stories, the email is info@thepositiveside.org. They can email, be part of it, or go on the website. There's a link on there and they can add a story.
Awesome. Yeah. So thank you so much. We're actually going to go ahead and I'm going to get in touch with you, and then we're going to organize something with Loni and Bernie.
Love
and
it.
We're going to have you again. And of course we can do something to get all these people, everybody that's watching, to be on that positive side.
Well, so I'm so positive. I met you all. I can feel the love in your audience, and the biggest thing I'm going away with is I figured out how to put Zoom on my cell phone, and I'm really proud of that.
And now you have it, and all we have to do now is just send you the codes.
Exactly. Thank you all.
Thank you
so much, David.
All right, y'all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Yes, partners. Again, Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide is going to be coming out pretty soon, volume number 3. So if you want more information, head over to lasvegasfrg@gmail.com. Go ahead and email us there. Or you can head over to the website, lvfrg.com, or give us a call, 702-944-7620. Would you like to add anything else, partners?
Well, just like I said, if we could create or organize a Zoom session, because I think most of our Zooms have been about prayer and, condolences, and it's sad. It's sad for your spirit. So something that we can do to say we're all here.
Yeah.
If we cry together, let's try and find a smile or laugh together. We need to do that. We need to hold each other up. And the best way to do that is to talk about positive things, because all of us have negativity and positivity.
Yeah.
But this time around, to get through all of this, we've got to pull that positive stuff out. And the simplest of things.
Always be positive.
Yes.
Right, Tito Bernie?
Yes, of course. I like the subject matter on positivity, because a lot. We're in the business of dealing with businesses, and honestly, there's a lot of initiative that we can do as far as the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide is concerned. Just like these businesses that are affected by this pandemic, a lot of them. And if we can just talk to them, just like I talked to some, and I told them honestly that don't worry, this will be over soon, and just keep on doing what you're doing, especially if your business is your bloodline. I told them that just keep on going, and jokingly sometimes I said, for as long as you advertise in the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide, you're okay.
Exactly. And of course, everybody that's watching right now, Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide, we are also partnered up with PHLV Radio. So if you want to have some sessions for advertising and stuff like that, you can talk to us. lvfrg.com or lasvegasfrg@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, we just have to solicit more so that people can come and join us with this business of ours,
Yes.
And there's a lot. And mind you, this Small Business Administration, which this government is dealing with, they're lending a lot of money in order for them to grow. And that's what we need to capture on, So that way people will be helped, especially will be assisted as far as financial is concerned. And and some of the businesses asked me how can they be, and I was telling them there are grants from the government.
Yes.
They have to tap on it, where to find it, whom to call. Yeah, I've been telling that to the businesses that are advertising with us. And some of them have gotten some, I think around $10,000 for the businesses during the pandemic.
Yeah, some of the big banks are actually helping out on getting this. There's a program. Yeah, so some of the banks are offering it.
Yeah,
to
just
some
like
of the businesses.
I was thinking of it because when I went to the office today, one of our co-tenants, that the door was. There's a sticker there. I think he is being evicted.
Oh, yes.
Sticker on the door. Those are the kind of things that I think these people need to think positive. I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get through
okay. Well, it's another Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show. Of course, you can find it on YouTube, Amazon Fire TV, and of course Facebook. You can hear us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. So once again, this is Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show out from Las Vegas. Good evening, good night, and of course, see you again next week. Every Thursday, 6 p.m., PHLB Radio. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank you.
Good night. Yeah.
The Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide is a vital tool and a helpful media outlet for business enterprises to connect and to reach out to Filipino American consumers. For more information, go to www.lasvegasfrg.com or you can email at lasvegasfrg@gmail.com.
Narito na ang kwentuhan.
Here at Apollo Medical Group, and here we have Dr. Homer Tuazon. Good evening, Dr. Homer. Thank you for letting PHLV come here and feature your clinic at PHLV para malaman naman ng ating mga kababayan kung saan sila pupunta if they need anything. So, Doc, when did you start your practice?
Medical practice way back 2014, 2015, and before that, I would like to thank PHLV like 100 weight loss, microdermabrasions, facials, anything that would make you look good and feel good.
At Apollo Medical Group, and here we have Dr. Homer Tuazon. Good evening, Dr. Homer. Thank you for letting PHLV come here and feature your. Good evening, everybody. I'm here at Apollo Medical Group, and here we have Dr. Homer.